if you want to.
And I think we are live. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here today. It's going to be a demo day. I think you just figured that out. The idea of demo day, if you remember, is to have our members introducing their games, demoing their games. It's going to be a first because I'm going to be able to play with one of the games here today. So it's going to be a very fun to play the game with Mathieu from Blue Sky Interactive. Mathieu, how are you?
Hey, Flavien. Nice to see you, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a first for me, so bear with me. I hope I will be a good player for you. But yeah, just I'm in the game with you, and I'm going to let you just tell me what I should do. Yeah, you guide me.
All right, so I'm here with you. I'm the second character here. Here you're in town. So basically, Last Resort, the story, it's a survival MMO. You have a military group who has managed to survive an invasion of monsters, basically. And they are rebuilding a town. So as a new player, you're a survivor, you heard a radio call, and you join the city and try to rebuild your life as best as you can. So here we represent a few NPCs who would ultimately be your gateways to the metagame, where you could develop a character, increase your gear, increase your weapons, and go on ever more difficult adventures. And right outside the city where we'll go now, we have a first representation of one of the gameplays we'll have, which is scavenging. And the whole idea is you get out of town, you grab some items, you find some items, and then you bring them back to town, and you manage to craft them. And this crafting will ultimately yield you some NFTs that you can then use to new areas. So to start, I can't see actually your screen. I can only see the game right now, but you see this box on your left. So if you go to the box and press A, you'll be able to see the inventory and grab a few items. To grab the items, you just go with the left trigger, you go on the left, and then you double tap A to bring them back to your own backpack so that we can go on an adventure together.
Perfect.
I know when you have everything?
I have everything.
Okay. And then if you press the inventory button, which is the center one, you can equip one of the military vests if you'd like. This will help you survive. I'll go grab a weapon as well. Oh no, you grab the weapon, so I don't have a weapon. So let's get out of town now.
So it was picked everything, right?
yeah. There was two, but you picked up both of them.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. So if you want, we can go towards. You see, there's different points of interest. You can see one zombie on the minimap on the right. So maybe you can deal with that guy for me because I have no weapons. So if you get close to him, it will auto target, and you can get him. There you go. So the zombies, they hear you, they see you, so you have to strategize on how you approach them, and you also have to be careful with your ammunition because, of course, you don't have unlimited ammunition, so you have to be careful.
Okay.
Right. So if we go running a little bit to go faster, and we go to this first point of interest where you see the fires, this is a sort of camp, and I'll be able to get a weapon as well and help you out.
I'm going to protect you.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks so much. Because these guys are not friendly.
Yeah. Oh, you have something. You should have. Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, now I have a shotgun, which should be helpful for me. All right. So the goal here, we're going to try to grab what's in those boxes here at the bottom, behind the Jeep. I'll try to help you survive, and you can go grab the stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. A lot of them. Wow.
Yeah, because we're making a lot of noise with our weapons. We could also use melee weapons, and this would be way more silent. Did you manage to grab what was in the boxes?
I didn't yet. I just maybe need to. I don't hear you very well because of the sound of the zombies, so I try to kill them as fast as I can. Come on. Oh, out of ammo. Okay.
Well, you need to grab stuff in the boxes.
Sure.
You good?
Just try. So I think I grabbed it, but I cannot.
There's another.
Fire
You can reload with B, and there's another shotgun in the house here if you want, on the top right house. Yeah.
Oops. Okay, got it. Perfect. Okay.
All right. So you're all equipped?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So our goal today, we're going to try to grab a key, and the key is stored in the military tent that you see on the left here. So we're going to try to go there. Maybe let's not engage with every single creature we encounter because we don't have that much ammunition. But we'll just have a big combat there. But what's important here is to understand the vision for the game, right? So this is a scavenging. What we would have is we would have the possibility to go up to 4 people in this type of gameplay, and you go on an adventure and you take a risk, right? You go to more difficult areas, you grab some more interesting loot, but at the same time, if you die, you lose everything that you had in your backpack. Some FPSs are using these kind of mechanics at this time, but this is way more accessible. As you can see, there's a very easy way to start the combats, and then in the city, that's where you can develop your gear and you can strategize around what you want to do. Something else that's interesting is we will have guilds, and the guilds will be able to own some gear and lend it to their members. So if you're just a regular player, I died, so I came back to town. Let me exit. I think you have the gist of it. I'll just let you play. This way I can see your screen. All right.
Yeah, try. Maybe I will try to. May I switch to off sound? But may I switch off the sound just to make sure that I can?
Not in the setup here, but you can. Okay. Oh, you don't have very good FPS. Okay. In your Windows commands, you can do that. You can remove the sound from one of the.
That's why I'm back to the base.
Yeah. So now you took a risk, right? You took a risk. You died. So now you have nothing in your backpack, and you're kind of in trouble. So maybe what you can do either you can relaunch the game and we play another session, or you go to the area where you picked up the. Maybe just relaunch it.
Yes. Okay. That's good. So you said.
Sorry?
But based on the mechanic, you explained the mechanics based on how you would like the game to be. So, what is the vision behind the development of the game related to the blockchain and the ownership of the asset that you have? Could you explain this a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the city is persistent. The city belongs to everyone. We will actually have lands there as well, so you can build your own home, and that can help in your progression with the crafting. Here is also where you'll have the guilds, and the guilds will have the special ability to lend gear to their players. So they can own NFTs and then lend them to their players, to their members, so that they can go on adventures together. And then the other application we have is business licenses. So the idea here is at the beginning, it's centralized, and the military is doing this, which is crafting gear for you. So let's say you go out, like we just did, and you find some crafting items, and you want to craft a sniper, for example. Then you'll come to the military, give them the items, and they can craft a sniper NFT for you. But ultimately, what we want is the players to be able to do it themselves. For that, we'll sell business licenses, and someone who has a business license has access to smart contracts, and those smart contracts represent crafting recipes. So you have the crafting recipe for a sniper rifle. You can get the stuff from another player and craft an NFT and then give it to him. And these are the two big applications.
How many people could play the game, you said?
How can they what, sorry?
How many players simultaneously could join?
4 people in the scavenging. So scavenging will be 4, and then we have other gameplays in preparation. One of them is to attack. So basically the idea is to help the city grow. We will attack the surroundings. And here we have a rail shooter, which is also a very accessible gameplay that can be ported to plenty of different platforms. This is a core idea of what we're doing. We want to have a broad audience, so we want to be able to port to many platforms. At the beginning, we'll have PC, WebGL, and mobile. The mobile version is already working, and it's quite fun to play as well with different control schemes. And then we also have defend, and defending will be with tower defense kind of approach. And then for the play and earn aspect, which is also an interesting aspect for the blockchain, What we want to avoid is having such a short loop that we've seen in the past, because we don't think they're sustainable. And instead, we want to focus on time-limited events, which are a mechanic that work very well on Web 2. And from time to time, you'll be able to access a new bunker or a new area that is very difficult. And if you join and bring a lot of interesting gear and a lot of powerful gear with you, and you go with friends, now you'll be able to compete to whoever manages to clear it first or the fastest. And only the people at the top of those leaderboards will actually earn the token of the game. So this is more of a positive loop, we feel, because you engage with the game on a regular basis, you manage to have your character progress, you manage to craft your gear, and then you go on those events, and in those events you can leverage that with your friends to be a high scorer in the leaderboards, and that's where you can actually earn the game token. This is for the hard currency, and the soft currency is all about crafting. So when you want to do crafting, you will have to spend some soft currency, and that soft currency you can earn by going on bounties. So basically special missions that the military gives you to help the town grow. So yeah,
awesome. I tried the same times to launch a game. I'm just having an issue to actually find the way to show that on screen again. I think it's not picking up correctly. My computer is not picking up correctly.
We saw the gameplay. We saw us working together towards this. So that's okay. I don't want to take too much time off your hand on the other games. But yeah, thanks a lot for playing with me. We find that it's really important to go with a game-first approach at this time, so that we can showcase we're very serious about developing the game, that we have the capacity to do so, and that we don't make empty promises, basically. So that's really why we started with this before we started the community. As you can see from our different socials, this is only the start for us. But we can already play, we can already have a good time. This is key for us.
Yeah, and as you said, like we had the chance to have you at NFC NYC at our booth, and it was really cool to actually let people play the game, but you could actually play the game on mobile and play the game on desktop. So you have two players playing together with different devices, exactly what you said. So it's pretty cool to keep that in mind in terms of adoption for these type of games and the type of game mechanic that you would like to implement in the future based on blockchain. So it was a very cool experience, and we love to see the progression of what you'll be able to implement. And actually, a lot of thing that I've seen in the game today was added as compared with the last time we've met. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, and we'll have a public free mint in July. This is the next event we want to plan, and we want to have as many people join the game as possible, and then reward them for completing a mission there by giving them a free NFT.
Okay,
this is what's coming next for us.
I promise next time I will be a better player, and we will go to a hunt together. But yeah, it was fun to play that way. Obviously, thank you, Matthew. And as I said, for every demo day, you should know that you could have the opportunity to win something based on the project that we have today. So, Matthew, I think you have a question for the audience if they really listened correctly about what you said. So, what would be the question?
So the question would be, how many simultaneous players can we have in the bounty missions, just like the one we played with Flavien today? So today we was 2. How many people could we have when we launched the game?
Yeah, we talked about that. We mentioned that several times, so you should be able to answer that. And we will pick a winner. We will wait a little bit longer after the next presentation to give you some time. So thanks again, Matthew.
Thanks very much, Flavien.
Nikita, pleasure to have you and to introduce ChainPatrol and give us a little demo. So if you're ready, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thanks for your time. And I think the previous demo was awesome. I've been playing a lot of zombie games, so I really like that approach there. I think the important part with games is really the fun aspect first, and I think that really captured that. That was great. Yeah, let me just share my screen here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. No problem. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing you. Good to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'll start with a quick presentation, and then I'll jump into a live demo. And yeah, basically, I'm Nikita, CEO and founder of ChainPatrol, and what we're building is real-time security for Web3 communities. So the big problem we've identified in the space is that Every year, there's billions of dollars stolen from crypto users across fake airdrops, like hacked Twitter accounts, and fake Google ads targeting projects. And so communities are overwhelmed by the volume and pace of these scams and impersonators, and they're looking for solutions to protect their community. You may experience this with your own games you're building or with other NFT projects you're part of, or if you're trading on DeFi protocols, you've probably seen, scammers on Discord, fake messages on Twitter, all these other areas. And so all of this really leads to over $1 billion lost every single year due to phishing attacks. And communities are looking for ways to protect themselves from these attacks. And so what we've built with ChainPatrol is a real-time security network. What we do is we work with organizations like Arbitrum, Lido, Optimism, and others, where we help auto-detect malicious domains and contracts targeting them. For example, if there's a fake domain impersonating Arbitrum, like arb tokens airdrop.xyz, which is not a legitimate domain. Basically, these sites try to steal users' funds by tricking them into signing a malicious transaction with their wallet and basically draining all of their wallet. So we automatically scan for all these sites. We also gather reports directly from you and from your community. And all of this goes into our global block list and this data is then sent over to wallets like Coinbase Wallet and MetaMask. These sites then block these scams and basically will show a warning these wallets show a warning to all of the users that visit these sites. And so here I can just jump straight into a quick demo. So for example, this is Arbitrum's account. They a couple of months ago, they started off their token air. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just having a fire alarm going off. Give me one.
It happens. It happens. So we're gonna wait.
Same happened in New York, Flavia. I think it's you.
It might be me. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we had a panel and actually a fire alarm just kicked on. So it might be me.
It lasted a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys. You're gonna handle that on your own.
All right. Sorry. I think we can hear okay now.
Yeah, I still have your screen sharing, but
okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna jump right back into the demo. I just stepped outside for a moment so that we won't hear that.
Yeah, no problem.
I get to dive back in?
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, so basically here we have the security dashboard where you'll see a feed of all new reports of scams trying to impersonate your project. So for example, with Arbitrum, like I mentioned, they launched their token airdrop. And then this led to tons of fake sites being created that are trying to impersonate Arbitrum. For example, let's jump into one of these reports that our system has caught. And so you can see here, there's lots of fake websites that are trying to impersonate their main domain and lead users to steal their files, to lose their funds. Now, Arbitrum cares deeply about security and about the community, and so they chose to work with us to help track these scams and get them blocked. So here you see a live feed of reports. This comes both from our automated system, and you can always create your own report and send it directly to us. And you also get a live page as well, where you can share this with your community, and anybody there can go and report a scam. There's ones for Arbitrum, Layer 0, and lots of other communities that we work with. And so your project can get your own, and any one of your community members can go here and report like a scam if they saw it on Twitter or on Discord or got a fake domain. All they need to do is type in, say, like, my gaming project airdrop.xyz, and submit that report. And so this is a great way to gather, monitoring and gather reports from your community around all the scams that might be targeting your community. But really what we enable is actually very quick blocking of all these scams. So for example, here is a fake site targeting the Arbitrum community with a fake launch page, or say some ARB swap airdrop is live. None of this is real. Please don't actually go to this site and sign any transactions. But luckily, this data is being sent over to both MetaMask and Coinbase Wallet. So for example, if I'm a user of Coinbase Wallet and I go to this site, I'll get a big warning saying, don't interact with this, the site may be unsafe. The same thing happens for users of MetaMask as well. And if I go to this site, they will be shown a big warning as well. And there's a bunch more wallets that we're integrating with, and basically working to make sure that no matter where your users are, within minutes of a new scam coming up, they can be protected. The last part I wanted to share is that we're also looking to partner with both gaming infrastructure providers and game developers themselves so that they can take advantage of our API. If you have an in-game chat or where users can share text or links, you can embed our data into your game as well. And through our API, you can offer the same protection that these wallets are handling as well. So we're working not only with wallets, we're working with things like messaging apps like MailChain and others. And you can also bring the same data into your own games as well. We provide the API for free, and so you can just integrate it directly, because our goal is to cover every single user within the crypto space. We provide an easy-to-use guide here where you can just follow along. This is like a JavaScript example, but we can work with your team no matter what engine you use. It's just a very simple API to call. All you need to go here is, let's say there's users sending messages in your game, and you want to check if maybe they shared a malicious link. All you need to do is send us the link over here. This is a live version of the docs, but you can do this through your code as well. And when you send it to us, we'll send you back that this is a blocked site, the reason being reported, and you can also ask for additional details on why the issue happened. We also support not only domains, but also sending us contract addresses and wallet addresses as well, if they belong to known scammers. And yeah, that's really it. I'll stop there. And thank you for everybody for joining.
Thank you very much, Nikita. Actually, it's pretty cool to go really into the back office on the platform and try to understand what you're doing based on the platform and how it works. So it's pretty interesting to see that. And I will say more than that, we try to tackle this topic of security in blockchain gaming. And I think we should capitalize more on your expertise and skills to actually educate our members, but beyond as well the gaming industry.
Yeah, 100%. I'd be, we could even potentially look at hosting a space or something else together where we talk specifically on security topics. I think that could be really interesting, because I think, that is a big cause of churn in the space in general, is that, you want your game, you want your players to just enjoy the game, play, not worry about the fact that, there's people trying to steal their in-game assets because they're worth real world money.
Totally. So I will put a note on that. Thanks a lot for the demo. And don't worry for the alarm. It happens. It happens to like Mathieu said, it happens to us as well. So don't worry with that.
Just to say, as a social and multiplayer game, I think your offer, Nikita, is really interesting, because it looks extremely easy to implement, and it makes perfect sense to protect your users.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. That's what we want to hear.
Capitalize on the private chat, guys, so you can exchange contacts if you're looking for that. So yeah, perfect. I love that. Thanks again, Nikita, for that. Do you remember the question you would like to ask? And I will go to Mathieu just.
Yeah, the question for us is how much money is lost to phishing attacks in crypto every year. Yeah, or how much funds are lost from wallets to phishing attacks every year.
Yeah. So it just I just displayed
a rough answer will be good. Like a rough area will be
an estimation will be okay, obviously. Yeah, thank you very much, Nikita, for that. We'll see if we have any answers. But I think for your question, Mathieu, it's a no-brainer because we have one person who actually tried to answer that, which is who is Skill Gaming, and I think he got it right.
He did. Congrats.
Yeah, it's 4 players. So I think Skill Gaming, you know how it works. I'm going to put a link for you to fill out the form and we'll be able to put you in contact with Matthew's team. Actually, I have to say, because I know the price, it's a physical card. And actually the card, I've seen the card in NFT NYC. So it's pretty cool gift, right, Matthew? Yeah, thank you very much. Robert, happy to have you again now for our demo day. If you're ready to share your screen and the game would be lovely.
Hey there, this is Probert. My real name is Robert. I'm CEO and founder of MetaBoy. We originally launched on the GameStop NFT marketplace in partnership with them about 11 months ago. So we're nearing our anniversary date. Thanks a lot for having me on the BGA Demo Day. I really love the BGA Alliance. I think it's nice to get together like a core group of folks who are doing similar things in the space and trying to push the boundaries of Web3 and asset ownership for players. Eventually, the players will be here for sure. They'll believe in it. So actually, to introduce the project a little bit for anybody that is not familiar, we believe in decentralized game development as a core ethos for our Web3 gaming approach. So we went into the lab originally when GameStop reached out to us and we're like, okay, well, we want to build an IP and character base that can go deep and has like rich lore and narrative. And we wanted to appeal to all people of all ages. That was like really our motto. So what you're seeing here is kind of the front door of our ecosystem. This is called the MetaBoy Lounge. This is our metaverse offering, because we envision a metaverse where we have an ecosystem of games and any game developer could go take our assets. If they own a particular MetaBoy, they can go in here. So I've connected my wallet here and I can actually click download and I'll download the 3D model and PNG texture files associated with my MetaBoy. I have a bunch of MetaBoys in here. So I'm going to demo a few games that we have and end with one that we are shipping to alpha very shortly. As I go through this, I'll kind of describe the approach. But this being kind of the front door and our metaverse offering, this has like the ability to download your own assets. You can go and actually like look at the actual token that is the avatar. So this is the original pixelated artwork. Having this essentially is like a game pass to owning this 3D voxel model that you could use as an avatar. We have a bunch of like mini games in the arcade. I'll see if I'll be any good in peer gaming. No, it looks like no. But we have like a cross-platform leaderboard because this is also available on mobile, currently in alpha. That's like a mini game that's similar to we call it Cannon Boys. It's similar to like Donkey Kong style games in the past. And this is a mini game called MetaBoy Jump. So this one is just like a jump game. You can bring any of your avatars in here to kind of jump around and try to get as high as possible is the goal. And for these type of arcade mini games, what we have been doing is driving community engagement through the leaderboard functionality, and we'll run like events and we could detect which wallets came in and actually played, so we could like airdrop you an NFT reward. We also allow we have a really awesome community, so shout out to the MetaFam. We also allow you to like share your progress in the game. So this button like just links you to Twitter and has like a little photo of your progress, and that way you could be involved in the community to spread kind of the IP around on socials. Quitting out of here, in our metaverse as well, we have like a whole museum experience. So a lot of the folks that bought into the project originally just love the artwork. And I think shout out to my co-founder. He's our chief creative officer and art director. We've also added another pixel artist end game, and they are both wonderful with the art. So this is actually how it looked originally. I'm very glad we didn't do this, but it used to look like a Xbox kind of gaming controller, and then it evolved with some feedback from the GameStop team, and now so these are some other takes on it, and now it looks like kind of what you see here, with this guy moving around, and you can see all the original sketches, from when we brainstormed, like what would an IP that appeals to all people all ages looks like, what are the traits that we would have, stuff like that. So we have this cool music experience that we're going to add to over time as our characters evolve and our ecosystem evolves. So that's the MetaBoy Lounge. There's a few other features of this, but feel free to check it out. You don't need a wallet to log in. If you do have a wallet, you can get access to your own NFT avatars, download them, build games on them. We've had people download the 3D avatars and actually 3D print them to like sell them. So owning a MetaBoy means you own your personal and commercial license rights to it. I always think, if you could go back 30 years and Niantic was like, hey, do you want to buy Pikachu for $50? For sure you would do it, right? So that's kind of the, I think, play with most NFT projects is this going to be an IP that lasts? So we're really trying to be here for the long term, and we believe in decentralized game development as part of that vision. So this is another game, a second entry created by DougLife27 from the team. I'm going to go ahead and start here. This is like a take on an endless runner game in the can't stop, won't stop genre. It's a very tight feedback core gameplay loop. You could pick a cartridge, you could pick a character. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the OPOGs cartridge. And really the goal here is trying to make it really high on the leaderboard. I hope that I play well. I normally don't play well when other people are watching me, but we'll see how it goes. So okay, sick. I'm like doing all right. So you're constantly moving to the right, and it gets faster and faster, which induces some anxiety for me. But some people are really good at this game, and they get up to like hundreds of thousands of points. And then what we've built into it as well is some boss battles, and I think it's actually kind of hilarious because the developer actually put in some like my chosen PFP as a boss, and so there's okay, I died here. So you get like 3 rounds, and every round you get a certain amount of points depending on how many enemies you kill and how far you get to the right. And so this is really targeted at like the hyper casual gamer base. It's currently available on web browser. We have an alpha build on the Google Play Store, which fingers crossed is coming out like shortly in the next couple months. And this game we really see as a way to bridge Web 2 gamers into Web 3, where they could earn skins and stuff like that in Web 3, and they don't even really know about it. And the gameplay loop is so simple. Like you could pass the phone to anybody. We've done some testing across kids. You could pass the phone to a kid and they're like, oh, there's 2 buttons. I know what to do. Cool. As with most endless runner games, like the superpower is to bring in as many people as possible because the ticket to ride, like so to speak, like the gameplay loop is not hard to learn. And so you get a lot of value out of it right away. So that's kind of our foray into like dedicated hyper casual mobile gaming, where we want to get our IP in front of different eyes of like Web 2 gamers, because there's just a lot of folks in mobile gaming. So that's one game we're doing, and then as you earn points and stuff like that, rank up in the leaderboards is the plan for our mobile offering. You could earn skins, you could earn different characters, unlock different maps and stuff like that. So it's like a take on endless runner with like the ability to double jump and kick, and you're like killing enemies, and it's with our own spin. So this last one is more like kind of beefy, like meteor type game. It's of another different genre. So, like I said, we're really trying to go for a decentralized game development approach because we want our IP to be one for all people of all ages, and everybody has a different kind of genre they like in gaming, right? So this is MetaBoy Rumble. The story behind MetaBoy Rumble is and we came up with this concept of like corruption and charge. So every meta boy has its own charge. Um, it's kind of like this Game Boy looking like character, right? So it has its own charge and like battery pack, and they all have different traits. So the on-chain traits are everything you could see. Like the body's similar. So what's nice about our IP is because folks like it. There's some level of traction there, and then all the bodies are like kind of square and rigid. It makes the animation work much easier for us. So any animation work we do is kind of multiplicatively applied across our character base, of which now we have about 20,000 one-for-one avatars. So I'm just clicking around here, but you could see like the different on-chain traits. Like this one has some knives to shank people. And these are like the traits it ends up representing in the game, or the attributes of damage, attack, speed, health, defense in the game. This game is built off of like a dice rolling mechanic for the actual like attacks and killing people and stuff like that. And it's an AI simulator, kind of like auto battler, battle royale esque game. We drew inspiration from, in a lot of Discord communities, there's like, well, how do we do a giveaway? How do we make it fun? And so a lot of Discord communities have this concept of like a Rumble bot. And we found that a lot of people love entering those things, and they'll see like a gamified version of themselves dying essentially. And then at the very end, there's one last person standing. And so we thought, why not actually just do this, but for real, and then add much more depth to the game. And so our thinking is, and this isn't in the game yet, but I'll go ahead and show you. There's going to be stats around. You go in, you can see your meta boys with the most wins, the most kills, the most deaths. And keep in mind, this is like a early alpha, but I'm going to go ahead and just create a Rumble here. And I'll go ahead and select the meta boys in my wallet. And the story, backing the story a little bit, there's like this evil, corrupt, dark syndicate ran by who we're calling the Shadow Queen, which is like a corrupt version of one of our core characters. Um, and similar to like WoW they had like the Alliance and the Horde, right? So you can kind of pick. And then Knights of the Old Republic, another fantastic game that I loved. You could kind of pick being evil or good. We want to build that in and have those mechanics, like whether you're corrupted or you're building charge. We want those types of analytics built on chain tied to the meta boy. So you could choose whether your meta boy is going evil or going good. But to start with, this is just like simply the Rumble mechanics. It might be a little laggy because we haven't optimized the new map yet, but this is, we drew a lot of inspiration from Kyoto, Japan, where our primary game developer lives. And so that's why there's a lot of these elements of like temples, archways. And so you could see like the meta boys just moved around and positioned themselves for battle. So you pick as many meta boys as you want. The idea is you're a squadron leader and you're trying to take down this dark syndicate, and so you need to level up your meta boys and progress. And at the end of the campaign, there's like one big like war games where you could fight against in battle royale style. You could fight against like the best meta boy evil squadron there is and take down the corruption that is destroying the world. So once I click Rumble here, there's AI that runs based on the traits that are on chain for every meta boy. They will have different levels of aggression, whether they want to hide and sneak away, that type of thing. And we are currently building out some levels of player influence too. So if you want to tell your meta boy to be sneaky or tell your meta boy to be more aggressive, that could happen. And our vision for this is like anybody could go and run a Rumble and like stream it, and they could invite other folks into the game and the Rumble. So this one just killed another one. They're going to be killing each other, hopefully all to the death soon. And so what we're planning is you could level up your meta boy by entering them into official Rumbles. So you can see these guys just like running around. It's pretty entertaining, especially once you get up close. And we're going to be building out like more interactive spectator modes where potentially you could throw a meta boy a potion or something like that. So this is Metaboy Rumble, and let me see. There's 5 Rumblers left, and This guy is just out there. Okay, he's going to find another participant to take down, and okay, so you can see like they'll all have different attacks, and therefore they have different weapons, so the way that they fight is different. Okay, it looks like this one took down this one with the gesture cap. We're still adding a lot of polish to this, but the idea is you have a Metaboy squadron, you enter them into rumbles, you get on-chain level progression or corruption or charge to if you're good or bad. And then what is cool is we'll tie this together in our broader ecosystem and try to have a game economy across our games. We're still working out the specifics because, as other game dev studios know, game economy is really freaking hard. So, yeah, I think we're down to the last two that are trying to find each other right now. There they are. He's visiting the dead body of this one.
It is definitely more fun than just on Discord. Like I can see the difference between the two.
Totally. So then you have like a clear winner. This might mean that the Tommy gun is OP because they've had 10 kills and the next one was 2 kills. So this one was just crazy. And what we're doing now, like then you could see like, okay, you could see which metaboys accrue what stats. So we're going to have stats like, kills, deaths, rumbles entered, time survived, that kind of thing. And that way we can incentivize leaderboards for different things. And one of the things that we realize with Web3 gaming communities is the idea of sub communities. So there's a lot of folks that like particular traits of our metaboys, so they'll collect particular traits. So we thought, oh, why not just enhance that by allowing people to run rumbles that are trait specific? So like a bazooka metaboy rumble, for example. So the idea being that, you could go and look at a rumble and there's some enjoyment there around like, oh, who's going to be the winner, like seeing some of the battle and gameplay. But the core loop that we're still building out is, you're this Metaboy squadron leader that's trying to like save the world or whatever, or maybe you're trying to corrupt the world more. So giving users that choice is something that we're focused on building. And then we want to allow for you to like send your Metaboys off to different rumbles to progress. And this drew some level of inspiration from other simulation games that I've seen from sports games like NBA 2K or Madden, where you can have a team, you could send them to different training camps, etc. But it's in like Metaboy style. So cool. I'm gonna stop sharing. But those are the current suite of games, and all of these we're building to accommodate mobile and cross-platform gameplay with like WebGL and Unity primarily. And that way, just like Matthew earlier, is building like a mobile cross-platform experience. Like we think like that's the way to get more adoption. There's just more players in mobile. And if you focus on fun, which I think is what Web3 gaming needs, like fun first, tokens and economics and, earning later, then I think the players will come. So the question that I had is what marketplace did the original Metaboy NFT collection launched on? I briefly mention this, so if somebody gets it, I'd love that.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Robert. It was actually cool. It is actually cool to see how your community is involved in not just playing the different games that you have and the story that you're telling to this community, but also the different games that the community is developing. So it's pretty cool to see every one of these games and the creativity of the different games you have across this IP that you're building. I find it very impressive. So congrats for that. On that part, Nikita, we didn't have any feedback yet. I think maybe it was hard. I don't know, because actually I would have been able to get that one, but that's okay. It's going to be for another time. We got someone who were actually very fast for your question, Robert. I don't know if he got it right. Bosch 911 GameStop.
Yeah, shout out Bosch 911. You did a good job. You listened to my first sentence, and then you got it.
Awesome. You were the fastest, and I think you were the best for this one. So Bosch, as I said, the thing is, normally if you scroll up, you should be able to see a form, the link of the form, and we just need you to fill out the form, say that you just won you just answer correctly the question from MetaBoy, from Robert, and we'll be able to give you the prize made available by the team. So congrats again. It was fun. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. It was fun to see your game and to understand the platform as well, for you, Nikita, and for the Chain platform, for the ChainPatrol platform. And yeah, I wish you a very good day.
Thanks again, Flavien. It was nice.
Thanks very much.
talking to you again.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.